All right. Yep. Cool. We fall down, but we get up around her. Bam. All right, round two. Yo, MLM. I've seen you around at other people's lives. And I think we've talked before. I think I said something about your name. Because I was like, multi-level marketing scheme? I was like, hey man, if you're an MLM lover, I can't just... Oh, I forgot to do a thing. Not that one. There we go. I'm only letting up people with a gifter level. So you're not coming up. All right. Thank you for the likes. I'm trying to go choose a thing. That's what I'm trying to do. Bam. Not follow panelists. Vote on the poll. Bam. What is 2A, the Second Amendment? Hey, birds. Where's my... Oh, shit, I don't have one. I didn't make one for that. What did the two have to do with each other? Figure it out. If I have to spell it for you, you're too young. Jack, you're not coming up. How you doing, birds? What's 2A, the Second Amendment? It's weird that people are asking that. Do y'all live in the United States? Oh, I don't owe you kindness. Sorry you came in here with that misconception. Sorry for you. Garrett, we don't know each other. Have we met? I tell you what, the mothership, you can pay to talk shit. It's $4.99 a month. Go off. Garrett, I don't know who you are. What is that? Huh. I wonder what that means. Ah, there we go. Okay. Hey, Millennial Marxist, how you doing? Comrades can also come up. Y'all are fine. Thank you for the likes. I still need to make one for likes, but thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for the shares. Please do share the live. They like it when we do the things. All right. Hot Grammy. Texas boy, big fits, like it. Love it. Swipe right to see more comments. Will it work? Oh, it just makes everything bigger. I don't see more. Hello, Spiritual. Hello, Gopher. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Roofer. Birds, how have you been doing? Hello, Leanne. Hello, Dan. Hello, Gary. The Rizzler, not trying to get rizzed up, but thanks. Hello, John Lewis. Hello, I'm the Blue. Hello, Top. Hello, Kim. It's about the background. You can say it in the chat. I love that. The Republicans, there were 3 voters and 3 of them were Republicans, so they got 66.67. Here's your proof. The Republicans are the devil. Screenshotted that. And of course, Bird's coming in with the party over people. Boop. There we go. Smith & Wesson. Compact shield is great. Oh, okay. Oh my god. How do we stop this from happening? TikTok is so messed up.
Oh, hello, comrade.
Hello, Garrett. How you doing?
I'm staying alive. I'm sorry. I was trying to. I don't know what I was doing. It was saying something about subscribe. I don't know what I clicked on. I'm still new to this app. But like I said in the comments, I wanted to recommend to you a cordless hole puncher. I don't know if we're allowed to say the term for the actual what it is. I
A
figured.
cordless hole puncher. I like that. You're creative. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to recommend it because um, I'm getting my girlfriend one this weekend. Well, because she's
Oh,
African American and everything that happened with the election, just wanted to be safe. And I've been telling her to get one for a few months, but she's finally like, "Yeah, I'll get one." And I'm
oh.
very pro Second Amendment myself, and I thought it'd be good to recommend to you and some of the guests because it is a really good weapon for, like I said, close quarters combat. Anything you need to defend yourself from probably 300 yards, it is perfect for. The slide to chamber around, super easy, and I think it's only like 400 online.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Oh, crap. I
I
like that.
myself have a bodyguard. It's just a tiny little. It's super good for concealed carry. Fits in the palm of my hand. Shoots 380. Um, or oh gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that word. Uh,
I like some TikTok friendly language is a myth, right? Like I do get the apprehension, but there are also news outlets on here and they don't use TikTok friendly language, so I don't see why I don't have my space so hung up on that. So you can say what you need to say.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So it shoots 380. Uh, it's like I said, super compact. Nobody would ever tell if you have it concealed carry. They never do when I have it, and I just usually wear a jacket or a hoodie. But you could just wear a shirt and it'll be fine. But also, right now, I'm getting a lot of people will hate on this, but a Taurus G3C. It's their newest model, and it's the C in it is compact, so a little bit bigger than the palm of your hand, probably. I know it is in mine, but it's great.
Okay, that wow. Those are very like responsible suggestions actually. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Um so thank you for the shares, birds. But yeah, things are gonna get rough around here, and it's like it's not like stuff like this didn't already exist, right? We're not. I'm not trying to promote any kind of delusion or disillusion or anything like that. It's just that we are going to see these things ramp up
Yeah.
now that the shit has hit the fan. And it's like, we've been here before, right? Like the first time he got elected, uh, there were like I don't even remember that shit was happening back in 2016. But the first time he got elected, people were super vocal, and then Roe v. Wade got overturned, and they busted a whole Facebook group of men planning on going to Texas to pick out women to rape. So we've seen this kind of stuff before. So it's just a matter of like, hey, men hate women, like systemically speaking, not personally you,
Yeah, yeah.
but systemically speaking, men hate women. So like, get you a strap, do
Agreed.
what you got to do.
Yeah, also being at certain intersectionalities, it's not even just about being a woman anymore because all those marginalized communities, like the Haitians, I've already heard just because Trump and Vance talked about it, people have been getting attacked in hate mails and stuff like that.
Yeah, bomb threats. Yeah,
Yeah, and then trans people die all the time, every day, because they're hate crimes and stuff. And also, the police are not our friend, so you should just likely be ready to defend yourself from them as you would another person.
that's true. You're absolutely right.
Can I
And
ask
like,
you about your politics? Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
are you good? It's just that like with there's and people also shouldn't be delusional, right? I'm driving. Okay, thank you for letting me know. But I do see that you're here. Um, but there's also like people just shouldn't start, going off the rails with the. All right, if y'all want to talk shit, you can talk shit in the broke box. All right. Um, there's also people just becoming kind of paranoid about what Trump can and can't do, basically. Like at first it was the nuclear codes, right?
Right.
And now it's like people being afraid that he will instate martial law and just keep it going. When one, you can't instate martial law for no reason, and two, martial law can only sit for like 60 days.
Right.
And also, like, the circumstances in which you can set martial law are vague but specific. So, like, you can set martial law in times of civil unrest, but things have to be visibly bad to justify it.
Right.
So people are just kind of, just going to these worst case scenarios that aren't they're not feasible, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. My mom said some similar stuff that he's never gonna, in 4 years, he won't give it up and he'll have absolute power. And I was just like, I don't think it's healthy to think like that. Like, as bad as he is, but I think that's paranoia too.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Clark is here. I'm inviting my comrades through real quick.
Right on. By the
Also,
way,
how long, you said that you're new. May I ask how long you've been hanging out? You don't have to tell me like the circumstances under which you got enough followers to be able to come up. You can just tell me how long you've been here if you want to. Garrett, you all right?
oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking to me? I
Yeah, I
guess.
was just asking you how long you've been on the app.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, okay, but like long enough.
Yeah, I guess. Probably a few months.
Okay, I know. I've been on TikTok since 2018 or 2019. This is just like I've just had multiple accounts over time, but I've been here for a long time and I've seen TikTok go through a lot of changes. And I wasn't here for Musically.
Right.
I showed up sometime after Musically. Um, and I've just seen a lot of things come and go, and like I guess a good way to put it is like I've seen a lot of tonal shifts in people. Like the people who were here back in the day aren't the same people who are here now. And like I feel like what's pushing a lot of these paranoid narratives is also just like any toxic rhetoric that somebody can latch onto.
Right, I've definitely seen a lot of that. That's why I was asking about your politics, because here recently I've seen so much hate from uh, like Dems or liberals, moderates.
Yeah, and you know what? That's valid because like there's like this whole push for black people to go back to McDonald's and Starbucks. And I'm like, no, because you don't know if you're falling for Israeli propaganda. Like you should be educated on, if like you weren't down with Palestine in the first place, if you don't know that anything could be Israeli propaganda, including things that come from Palestinians because they get blackmailed. So like people just being loud and wrong, and also Starbucks union busting, violating workers' rights, and McDonald's using prison labor, violating workers' rights. So yeah, just a lot of people that are very loud, wrong, and uneducated.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's most of America.
Yeah, America has definitely encouraged uh, being maliciously unintelligent, and we're seeing the outcome of that.
Right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
how do you identify politically? Like, do you have any political labels you go by?
I'm a socialist, if that's what you mean. But if you're talking about like voting, you could say I'm an independent.
Right. Yeah. No, I was asking about. Okay, you're a socialist. That makes sense. So, why do you? And I'm just curious, but why do you go by the label socialist? Do you feel like
Because
communism takes things too far?
I'm sorry, what?
I was just wondering, do you feel like communism takes things too far? Like, where would your ideal socialist government stop in terms of its like foreign and domestic policy?
Oh, it doesn't. I identify as a socialist because I understand it's the bridge to communism, and we need to do we literally have to do socialism first,
Right.
otherwise, shit would go fucking tits up.
Yeah, Cuba in the 60s.
So yeah, that's why I identify as a socialist.
Right on. So, do you think in, 300 years if America went down the aisle like exactly how you'd want it to your perfect like utopic society, could you see then a moneyless and classless society by the end of the 300 years?
So it wouldn't be a utopia because people will always have their social ills. And people can always fuck things up. It happened with the USSR. It happened with China. It happens. But the chances that we would get violent embargoes like the ones that we put on other countries when they try to do that shit, like what we did to Venezuela, probably not gonna happen to us. Probably. so,
Yeah, I hear you.
uh, I would hope that it wouldn't take 300 years, with the understanding that I'm definitely fighting a fight for the future now. And I don't know if the United States would even last another 300 years with the path that we're going down now. However, in this scenario, the what would happen with the United States and communism would I don't know if communism can be something that works if it's contained. Communism would have to spread. I don't think it could just be us. It'd have to be like maybe Russia goes back to the USSR or some new model, and China does something, and like the main world powers kind of lead the world into it, or we follow somebody else into it because it's like, well, shit, now we're outnumbered. We only have the CIA is only so big. If you can't beat them, join them. Um,
I think the first option will happen. I think right now the US government is so fucking crazy. They would literally prefer the world to end through like nukes going off than like let China take the lead in terms of world power.
I mean, that's what even if that's true, you can't just nuke the world. So like, fuck what they want at that point. Um, so if the rest of the world would kind of lead us into it because we can't do coups everywhere. You can do coups some of the time, but not all the time. Um, but yeah, we would really just join the rest of the world, and we would. I think that with the way the United States is, we would definitely be more focused on commerce, and not necessarily the system in which that commerce operates under, like capitalism.
Right.
Um, and I'm not saying that communism would cure the social ills, but I will say that without there being a profit drive incentive and the dismantling of the petrodollar, we would there would be less incentive to discriminate.
What do you mean when you say discriminate there?
So when I say discriminate, a lot of discrimination is based off of I'm going to argue that right now for the sake of this that a lot of discrimination is based off income, and that's how you have the income disparities. Like this is how people think that they benefit from keeping black people financially oppressed. So if
Right.
things aren't profit driven, then there's no need to keep certain groups oppressed. So without things being profit driven, people could still discriminate against you based on your skin color or whatever, but there would be higher consequences for not giving someone the same services that you would give someone else.
Hmm. Um, that's interesting. Oh, I think there's a lot of things there. When you say profit driven, are you talking about like the prison industrial complex, like how we have?
Like all of it, intersectional, but even having to buy groceries, even having to buy food, all of it. Like if your needs are met and the other person's needs are met and y'all don't need like to depend on the fiat currency, then you just give. But with the acknowledgement that it's still 400 years later from slavery, so it would take teaching the horrors of chattel slavery in school and a
Right.
lot of other things to dismantle our systemic things to better our future, the future humans. So hopefully they don't repeat the same mistakes.
Right.
It would it wouldn't just be like how we treat currency. It would also be our education system. People would actually be educated on the crimes against humanity, figure out that shit is wrong and don't do it. Hey, Paul. And then it would bleed into how we handle our commerce. Like, hey, I shouldn't discriminate against this person. They went through some fucking bullshit. Like, they're 1% of the population. They already catch it bad enough. Or, damn, we kind of brought their ancestors over here with fucking torture and slavery. Let's not treat them like shit.
Right.
And you would just have your needs met.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I still think. Well, yeah, you're right. If we geared our society in the way that you're talking about, especially with education, like I think that has happened to a certain extent, but obviously not nearly fast enough, and it doesn't really matter when POC communities are still being oppressed because it's like that negative is so much heavier and larger in comparison to what we might be teaching kids in certain areas, probably not even in most.
Yeah, it's like if we started teaching the horrors of child slavery in school, we would be done with racism in 100 years or less.
I still don't know about that.
I
I
think so because child American child slavery was fucking horrific.
Yeah.
Like hanging people and then cutting off their body parts and then wearing them and eating them, like making human leather. Like if we taught that shit in school, people would be like, "Oh shit, we fucked up big time."
Yeah, but there would still definitely be racists and
Oh no,
turn.
I'm not saying racism would go away. I'm just saying that there would be less racists and racism would be met with harsher punishments. Right now, racism is very celebrated in the United States. It's very
Right.
much even baked into our language.
Right. Yeah. I
With
think that's true.
teaching the horrors of chattel slavery in school, people would be like, "Oh, I understand why this is wrong." And like also it would come with harsher consequences because the racists had the same school system and they still chose to be evil. So we're going to go ahead and quell the evil.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. I still think that that's like the major issue before we can even get there is going
Right.
to be white supremacy being literally integrated into our systems, like social systems, government, until we pull that cancer out and execute them. I
Yeah,
don't think it's going to work out.
it's a matter of people like wanting to shed that white fragility shell. Like it's also a matter of right now I would say that being staunchly anti-racist is more of an in-group thing. Like you can learn anti-racism at the Unitarian Universalist Church, but if you try to learn that in school, you're not going to get it. Whereas for us to make a shift into communism for our culture and society, we would have to make anti-racism the mainstream thing. Hey Drew, I mean sorry, hey communist. Um and those racists who are now educated on the evils of child slavery are now the ones pushed into these little cubby holes. Hey Heidi.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
like like I said, social ills aren't going to go away. It's just the social ills don't need to be homelessness and poor people and shit. The social ills need to be racism. The social
Right.
ills need to be things that people chose and not the hands that people were dealt, like being disabled.
Right. Yeah. Ableism is a huge one in America right now too. Yeah, all good points. Have you seen the series Watchmen? Does that ring any?
I've of course heard of Watchmen back when it was blowing up, but I didn't watch it. I usually avoid popular things because the fandom might be toxic, like what
Yeah.
happened with Death Note. So no, I didn't watch that.
Well, this conversation reminds me of that. It's kind of like if America went down that path. It's like a different, DC universe superhero stuff, but like 100 years ago, history, the timeline changed. I really think you'd like it. It's pretty insightful into what we're talking about if America was this way. But thank you for the conversation. I gotta head out. My wife just got home, so
All right, cool. Well, peace be with you. If you feel comfortable telling your wife that a random black person on the internet said hello, please do tell her hello, and I wish y'all a good evening.
I appreciate it, and I'll be sure to. You have a good day.
Right on. Take care now. See, this is why I go live. Y'all don't believe me when I say I have like really interesting and insightful conversations and stuff. But I do, and I meet a lot of comrades on here. Boop. Alrighty. So wholesome, very, very. Like, this is why I do what I do. Like, there are a lot of jerks out there that'll try to stifle me, and other people too. But like, there are people on here worth talking to for real. Like, good stuff, good stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it here because I was live on my other account, so I've been live for a while. But today is Friday, so I might catch y'all earlier in the day tomorrow. But and I'm also not even usually on Fridays. But in the meantime, punch a Nazi. Your life depends on it. And I'll see you later. Hey Moxie.